What is the body? First and foremost, we must understand a divine message that was sent for us all to meditate on and know deep within ourselves. Our body is a self healing, anatomical, and biological being with a consciousness that creates life. It is self growing. For this divine guidance and healing harmony, we are so very grateful. Our physical bodies are self healing and self growing anatomical and biological temples that house our immortal souls. Our souls have created a space for our physical body before conception even occurs. The soul's main purpose of creating a body is to find comfort and warmth while incarnated on this planet and in this life. Comfort generates happiness. That is all that is needed to find happiness. Joy, on the other hand, is the ultimate purpose in life. Christ said, "I go to prepare a place, a space for you." He meant this in terms of a space in heaven, but the same applies for our physical bodies on earth, meaning our divine creator flows in and through all things, every soul. Remember, the nucleus of every soul is absolute truth, an extension of our source of being. Therefore, our immortal souls come first to create a space for our physical bodies to dwell in before physical creation has begun. Like if you were going to build a house, you would need to find a space first before you can create the house. The biology, anatomy, and physiology of the human body has always fascinated me. It is absolutely mind-blowing how much detail, love, and care is put into our makeup and design. We have natural protection, built-in protection at all levels, internal and external. Every living thing has intricate levels of detail, from the biggest to the smallest particles. The crystalline, or as I like to call it, the Christalline, flows in and through all things. Therefore, we have been created by the same source. Souls are of Akasha, or our source of being. Pure thoughts are what we are, put together through the amazing song of harmony, which is the healing power of Christ. Finding that flow again is what we are to discover within ourselves, flowing into our divine fate, the pool of the Christalline. Christ was able to heal others by constantly having gratitude for everything around him. Gratitude opens the portal of the amazing grace, which bathes us in the Christalline flow of harmony, the healing harmony that love activates. This harmony is found in and through all things. It is what keeps the planets in perfect alignment. Even Thoth, the Atlantean, spoke of bringing order out of chaos, meaning after the friction of chaos, there is new life. And in new life, there is order and harmony. Like Fibonacci, all things grow within order. Keep in mind, though, there are no numbers, no symbols, and no words in the universe. These are only tools used by the mind in order for us to reason with information in our current form. Our divine creator in the flow of all things is simplicity. As humans, we like to overthink things and make them more complicated than they really are. Simplicity is elegance. It is the beauty of art. Drops of water are the closest thing to a pure thought, a soul. Christ talks of the living water. We are the living water, but we forgot who we were. Remember ourselves as the pure thoughts that we are. So Molxis, the Dacian king, also taught that souls are thoughts that flow like water. Imagine a river of souls flowing like water together in the same direction. If there is a big rock in the middle of the riverbed, the water flows around it, unbothered by its position. If there was a log, though, it might get stuck and not be able to flow with the rest of the river. Our soul's journey is similar. When we flow into our divine fate, we flow with the rest of the current to join the all as one in the ocean. If we get stuck on something we can't see to go around, the flow of the others in the river can help guide us if we're willing to dislodge ourselves from the obstacle. This is where the flow comes in, as we must flow together, helping each other, guiding each soul on its journey, but ultimately, it is up to each individual soul to make a free will decision to flow with their divine fate, to swim against their fate, or to stop off along the way and get involved in riotous living that may compromise the physical vessel that we are steering. While we continue to try and control our destiny, or let the divine take our ship's wheel and flow into that Christ-aligned current. We have already discussed in previous videos how our free will and our soul work together to accept and stick to this absolute truth, what elements and subcomponents are accepted for you. As our physical bodies are formed within our absolute truth and with the guidance of our free will, we may accept our father's smile but also have our mother's eyes, or our grandfather's eye color but our grandmother's freckles and skin tone. It depends on what our soul accepts as absolute truth for that specific, individualized, unique soul. Like cosmic fingerprints, we each have a unique vibration that radiates from our soul. Our unique soul vibration within our physical bodies on Earth help to power the forward momentum of our planet, moving through our galaxy and through our universe. We're kind of important to our galaxy. The body is the physical vessel that houses your soul. The body's nucleus is the pancreas, and its function is motion. Let's talk about the pancreas first, as it is the nucleus of the body. How, do you ask? Just like our souls are pure thoughts, our pancreas absorbs thoughts into our being if accepted by our free will and absolute truth. The pancreas is located behind the stomach in the upper left abdomen. It is surrounded by other organs, including the small intestine, liver, and the spleen. It plays an essential role in converting the food we eat into fuel for the body's cells. The pancreas has two main functions, an exocrine function that helps in digestion and an endocrine function that regulates blood sugar. In traditional Chinese culture, the pancreas is called the switchboard. It is that important. Let's look at our bodies as if they were quantum computers. The pancreas takes in big thoughts, terabytes of information, and sends gigabytes, megabytes, and kilobytes onto the other parts of the body that need that information. Gigabytes of information go into the heart, brain, stomach, lungs, wherever the need is at that moment, as all of these organs have their own brain, their own processor. So we don't think thoughts, we process them by absorbing them through the pancreas first, acting as the server of the quantum human. The brain is the processor. Our DNA is the hard drive. The heart is the motor that pumps power or blood through the veins, electricity through the nervous system, life into our kidneys, spirit into our lungs, and ethical awareness into our minds, all guided by the free will and spirit in union, in harmony. Our physical body, soul, free will, emotions, spirit, mind, and ego are all intertwined and held together by our aura. It is to know thyself in every entity of ourselves to be able to comprehend the magnitude of who we really are. This is an inward journey that only ourselves can answer our most pressing questions. For through ourselves is where we connect with the divine creator and all there is. Our unique soul vibration within our physical bodies on Earth help to power the forward momentum of our planet, moving through our galaxy and through our universe. Every single soul participates in the motion and movement of our planet. It goes against universal law to be stagnant or lazy, as we were designed to move. It is a punishable law in the universe and deserves disintegration of all elements of that particular lazy soul. We're going to go over the 8 prime components of the body, and they are the movement of. The first one is the movement of heart and blood. The human heart is the engine and works 24/7 to keep all of our organs functioning and in harmony. It is the very first organ that the soul creates, and it has its own information processor, the heart brain, which has over 40 billion neurons. It acts as a shield for the soul, as the soul is located directly behind the heart. The heart constantly pumps blood through the veins and arteries by the amazing cardiac conduction system, the electrical function of the heart that conducts the flow of life within our bodies. What's amazing is the heart's electrical system relies on a specific part of our nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and most importantly, it is controlled by our spirit guide. This is the unconscious part of our nervous system, and it runs the functions of the body that we don't think about, like when we are sleeping or unconscious. This includes the heart, breathing, digestion, and more. Like we said, the soul of the body is located directly behind the heart. It wants to stay warm and cozy and is connected to the pancreas and all other organs. Like a mother's loving touch, always connected. The soul has its own unique vibration, similar to every heartbeat, has its own unique beat, heart and soul, deeply connected. The second component is the movement of the brain and the electrical chemical impulses. Our cells are specialized to conduct electrical currents. Electricity is required for the nervous system to send signals throughout the body and within the brain, making it possible for us to move our body, process information, and feel sensations. Elements in our bodies, like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, have a specific electrical charge. Almost all of our cells can use these charged elements, called ions, to generate electricity. It is important to note that all cells have an outer plasma membrane, like our aura, that regulates not only what enters the cell, but also how much of any given substance is allowed to come in, which is just like our aura, which protects all of the contents within the soul, free will, body, emotions, spirit, mind, and ego. The cell membrane acts as a barrier or a gatekeeper, protecting and guarding that cell and all of its contents. Each cell within a cell is protected by their own aura. How amazing is this level of protection, just on a cellular level? Our auras protect against photon arrows, but allow certain things to enter our permeable membrane that are allowed by our soul and free will. Not only does the cell membrane function as a barrier to molecules, it also acts as a way for the cell to generate electrical currents. Again, just like our auras generate electrical currents too. A flow of charges across the cell membranes is what generates electrical currents. The brain and free will are closely intertwined as they both process information for the soul and body before we are aware of it, sending valuable information onto the areas of the body and soul that need to know in order to keep things flowing in harmony. The third is the movement of the lungs. Our lungs are designed to bring air into our bodies, the spirit, bringing in oxygen and nitrogen and expelling carbon dioxide to support the plant life. Let's talk a little bit about nitrogen, as this makes up 78% of the air we breathe. The symbol of nitrogen is N. Nitrogen is essential for plants and animals to survive. It is one of the building blocks of life. It is used to make amino acids in our body, which in turn make proteins. It is also needed to make nucleic acids, which form DNA and RNA. Human or other species on Earth require nitrogen in a fixed reactive form. Do you know what reactive nitrogen is used for? It is necessary for the food production process. Until 1900, we had an access to use naturally occurring nitrogen for processing food like manure. But after the invention of an industrial process known as Haber-Bosch, reactive nitrogen can be fixed, which will help to process food. So how do we intake nitrogen into our bodies? As we know, nitrogen makes up a large part of the Earth's atmosphere. Humans can't utilize nitrogen through respiration, but can absorb through the consumption of plants or animals that have consumed nitrogen-rich vegetation. The air we breathe is around 78% nitrogen, so it is obvious that it enters our body with every breath. This nitrogen helps in protein synthesis, amino acids that influence growth, hormones, brain functions, and the immune system. The human body needs amino acids, and for that, nitrogen is an important source to help synthesize human proteins. A metabolic process in our body depends upon enzymes, which contains various kinds of proteins. The nucleic acid DNA makes up our genes, and RNA is involved in protein synthesis, which needs nitrogen for it. We all know that without DNA, we would not be alive. For proper digestion of food and for the growth of the human body, we need nitrogen. It is extremely important in the development of babies growing in their mother's wombs. Spirit fills the body and the lungs with life, which also fills us with inspiration as we breathe in other thoughts that we accept through absolute truth. We breathe thoughts. Talk about God breathed. Number 4 is the movement of the liver. The liver is the largest solid organ in the body. It removes toxins from the body's blood supply, maintains healthy blood sugar levels, it regulates blood clotting, and it performs hundreds of other vital functions. The liver and the mind are similar in the ways they must be cleansed on a regular basis, filtering the unnecessary information out of the body while sorting important enzymes and storing the information that is beneficial to the body and soul. The liver is also in charge of emotional transformation and equilibrium of anger. This is a balance of how much anger we can handle. Number 5 is the movement of the kidneys. Kidneys are essential to cleansing toxins and transforming waste to urine as well as storing life. Sometimes our life force or chi gets stagnant and our lower backs can hurt the kidneys. This is because we have life or chi that has been stuck and we need to get moving physically, drink lots of water and ground to get that life chi moving again. The kidneys are also in charge of the emotional transformation and equilibrium of anxiety. Again, there is a balance to how much anxiety we can handle. Number 6 is the movement of the genitals. The sexual current and the emotional current of passionate anger will start from the tailbone winding up like a serpent or kundalini to the reptilian brain. One stream is sexual and the other is passion. Weaving up the spine, they meet at the base of the brain, creating sexual desire for both genders, meaning there are only two. Our sexual energy is very important to be aware of and protect. This is closely related to the ego, as the ego is mostly used for mating purposes and social situations. Keep in mind that through intention, emotion, energy emotion, passion, and sexual intimacy, we are manifesting, we are creating in that moment. If we participate in sexual actions with an ill intent and with an ill emotional state, we are creating things in our reality that we don't want, and we don't even realize what we are bringing on ourselves. When performed within pure loving intent, adoration, passion, and harmony, we are able to bring amazing abundance into our physical reality. Every vibration has a ripple effect. It is up to us to be sure this is maintained within the universal law, harmony. So you can see how make-up sex may not be such a great idea. Feminine sexual energy must be released in order for manifestation to occur. The masculine sexual energy must be withheld as long as possible and is the key to unlocking the female sexual energy and opening this manifestation portal to universal creation. It's a fast track to the divine. It is important to note that the divine masculine and the divine feminine are simply those that blossom when they know themselves. It is that simple, for simplicity is elegance, and elegance is our divine creator, which in turn is simple, not complicated. Don't get lost in the millions of rabbit holes or pitfalls and snares, all traps of the mind, all designed to confuse us further. We should feel this absolute truth in and through all things. Simplicity within honesty and ethical awareness is key. Number 7 is the movement of the skin. The skin is the largest organ in the body, breathing and absorbing elements all around us. Our bodies are made up of 70% water. While we have our aura protecting the skin protects the temperature of our bodies, holds our fluids within a boundary, as well as allowing us to feel the sensation of touch. We have so many built-in defense systems to alert us when danger is near. The skin helps us feel if something is too hot before we get burned. Feel the pleasure of brushing against silk. Our skin can tell us when something is out of balance, such as rashes, indicating there's a disturbance in the system. It could indicate an allergy to an environment or something internal, such as an infection, foods, chemicals, and stress. Stress within the mind creates all kinds of reasons to have physical issues in the body. This is why it is important to harmonize all 7 bodies within our aura. Number 8 is the movement of muscles and bones. This is the body, the base, the physical structure. The muscles and bones are the structure, the framework of the body to lean on, be supported by, and help us move. As we said earlier, the purpose of life is to propel each other and the planet forward through the galaxy and the universe. We are all on our way back to our source of being, walking each other home. Any physical pain, discomfort, or illness is related to something out of harmony within one or more of our 7 bodies. Pain serves as an indication that, hey, something is out of whack. Look over here. Do you see how our body is a musical masterpiece made from sound? And remember, sound is our source of being. We have conductors and organs all playing their part in the orchestra of the physical body to harmonize the symphony, our song. Our bodies have a string section, a horn section, and perfect percussion woven together so lovingly with intricate detail to the craftsmanship of each instrument. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. We have been fearfully and wonderfully made. We are stars wrapped in skin. The light you are seeking has always been within. Matthew 25:31-33 says, when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Thank you all so much for watching. We greatly appreciate your thoughts and your comments. Ion and I send you all love that activates the healing song of harmony, understanding, and knowledge. We are so grateful